Hello everyone, welcome back to another LaserDisc video, and in today's video and the next few videos I'm going to go through my collection that I've got so far. In just under 2 months I've been able to get over 30 discs, with another 40 on the way from Japan on a slow boat. So instead of going through them all in one go, I've met some really nice people in the community, and I want to kind of shout out some people that I've bought LaserDiscs from, because they do it like on the regular, and I think you know, they're worthy of a shout out. So today I'm going to go through my very first LaserDisc that I bought, and also my very first Criterion LaserDisc that I bought. And then in the next few videos they'll be centered around those people that I bought certain titles from. So when getting back into LaserDiscs, you know, about 6-7 years ago, 2016, which is, wow, 9 years ago actually, obviously I had a list of like 300 here, mainly like Signature Collection, some Criterion, some Pioneer Special Edition, and some THX. And this is the list of basis that I will be sort of using to reclaim those titles that I used to have. And when I've decided I'm going to first get back into it, like literally January of this year, the very first thing I did was reintroduce myself. I was part of these groups anyway, but I reintroduced myself in the LaserDisc Forever Facebook group and the LaserDisc Infinity UK Facebook group. Said, hi, here's what I'm at. I used to have a collection, I lost it, and now I want to get it back, and I'm looking for titles and players, Literally within 5 minutes, I had 5 people contact me back and say, I sell films and I have players, and literally had a pool of people now to contact, all within the UK as well, that I can purchase from. But in all honesty, I wanted to look for local, you know, people who live within the city I live in. So the next thing I did is I headed on eBay and I typed in LaserDiscs and then filtered according to distance within 25 miles, and somebody was selling Ghost, 7 and a few other titles, and only lived 5 miles from where I live. So contacted that person and said, I'd like to come round and buy your LaserDiscs. And they said, well, buy one off eBay first and then we'll talk. And I'll show the, you know, what I got off that person in another video. So the third thing I did to start, you know, getting LaserDiscs, haven't bought any yet, but started off, I contacted all the second-hand vinyl record stores in the city where I live, and asked them, do you have any LaserDiscs? And one got back to me and said, yes, we've got a LaserDisc in the £10 bargain bin. We've had it for months, you know, come and get it if you want. And I'll be like, I'll be right there, you know. And it paid off. You know, sometimes vinyl record stores, second-hand ones, will get these bulk loads of vinyls in, and the soundtracks that they get, sometimes the LaserDisc and the soundtrack on vinyl are identical covers. The only difference being it'll say LaserDisc on the actual LaserDisc cover, or it'll say like AC3 on the back, and sometimes they're very identical on the front cover. So as soon as I got into the store, I went and had a look at their soundtracks, just in case there was another one hidden, you know, that they hadn't seen. Because sometimes if they buy them and get them in bulk, and, you know, they don't check them, they don't even realize they've got one. So it pays to check out the second-hand vinyl record stores. And in this case, it did pay off. There was a LaserDisc there that they had, and it was this one, Stargate, the NTSC copy, catalog number LD60190WS. And it looked to be in very good condition. It didn't actually come, like, it wasn't sitting on the desk in their lot with the plastic sleeve on. But looking at it, I thought, well, it's actually in pretty good condition. Now, there are some marks here. There's some ring wear on the cover here. I don't know if you can pick it up if I angle it just right. But you can see, overall, it's in pretty good condition, I'd say. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And they wanted £10 for it, and I'm thinking, £10 for this is a bit much, because it's a bit of a common title, to be honest. The PAL edition or NTSC edition, it's not like the extended version or anything. It's not like a special edition. It's a THX version. It's got the THX in the corner there. But other than that, you know, it's pretty much standard. So, you know, I thought, well, I don't really want to pay a tenner. It's like 6 or 7 quid maybe. So I opened it up, and lo and behold, on side one, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but there are some scratches here. I don't know if you can actually make that out. Try and angle it, but no, I don't think you can pick it up. There you go. Just here, there's some scratches. They go in probably for about, I'd say 15 minutes, because it's a CLV side, so it's about 15 minutes of the disc, I'd say, and they are proper scratches, so this may not play. So at the end of the day, I wanted the LaserDisc because I knew I was going to do a video about LaserDisc, so I wanted a LaserDisc, if not just to show. So I said, well, you know, this LaserDisc isn't actually going to play that, you know, that well, because it's got that scratch. And he said, well, I don't own the store, so I can't just give it to you for free, but how about a $5? And I said, well, throw in a plastic sleeve and you got yourself a deal. And he said, right, well, okay, £6 then, for, you know, with the LaserDisc and the sleeve. I'm like, sold. That's fine by me. So I got the LaserDisc and the plastic sleeve for 6 quid. Bargain. Appropriately priced, you know, and my very first LaserDisc. So straight away entered that in on the old LaserDisc database, and off we go. I've started, you know, and then obviously, you know, when I finally got able to get into my older account, I now can actually delete it off this list, and I deleted all the ones that I currently do have, and printed it off. So I'm going to use that list as a basis for what I want to collect back again. Obviously, I want the certain THX titles, I want certain signature titles, I want certain Criterion disc titles, Pioneer Special Edition, and the Queen LaserDiscs, you know, that I have. And I hope that making these videos doesn't bump up the price for me by people who know what I'm after. But yeah, so that was my very first LaserDisc that I bought. Now, the very first Criterion LaserDisc I bought, like I said, when I was on eBay checking out some titles, there was a guy who lives 5 miles away from me, like 15 minutes to get there, and he basically said he was selling this one, the 7 Criterion box. This wasn't his, because I did put a bid on it. It was £30 at the time, and somebody outbid me by £1. So when I went to go collect the other ones from him, it was sitting there on the shelf, and I was just like, give it to me. But yeah, somebody outbid me on that one. Fair dues. But you know, you don't have to fret, because LaserDiscs are not going to be like, oh, it's gone and I'm never going to see it again. Literally 1 month later, this one popped up. And it was on eBay, not a place that I generally go to, but it was on eBay. It was like 38 quid, and I was like, that's a bargain. And I have a feeling it's because the 4K release of 7 has actually just come out. So a lot of people are getting rid of older copies. So you might find this one floating around eBay now, quite relatively cheaply. It's a Criterion Collection, catalog number 298. And I think this is actually a very gorgeous set and a very relevant set. So, I mean, you get a nice black box here, and the back here has got some write-up of special features and some, you know, titles and some stuff here. And it says here, a startling twist on the gritty thrillers of the 70s. Obviously, if you haven't seen the movie, you know, it's a fantastic film. It says here, a new widescreen 2.35:1 digital transfer supervised by director David Fincher. Now, I think this is a very nice presentation as well, because when you open it up, the box is hinged, so when you actually open it up, you know, it's not like a lid that comes off. It's like that. So, and it's got this cool, like, John Doe written booklet here. And it's got all these sleeves. Now, these weren't the actual sleeves that came with it. They were white. And I thought, that doesn't actually kind of look indicative to this release, you know, having white vinyl sleeves inside, you know, the 12-inch polylined one. So I swapped them out for black, which I think are absolutely great. There's about 4 discs in here, and I won't take them all out, but there's only just 4 discs and this booklet inside, and then your collectible, you know, foam insert. But yeah, there's 7 sides, and this booklet really is pretty cool. It says here a note to the viewer on the top, okay? And it says, in its original theatrical release, prints of 7 were created using a silver retention process called CCE, whereby the silver leached out during conventional film processing is rebonded to the print. Now, silver retention drastically increases luminosity in the light portions of the image and the density of the dark tones. The process is so difficult, time-consuming and expensive that directors and studios rarely consider using it, but David Fincher worked with the Criterion Collection for weeks to recreate the ideal effect. Only a few hundred of the 2,500 prints of 7 released theatrically were ever produced by silver retention. So basically what they're saying is that when 7 got its theatrical release, there were 2,500 prints made that were globally sent out, but only a few hundred of these had this silver retention, you know, process that gave it a very specific look. And on this LaserDisc box set, they've recreated that exact look for those few hundred theatrical prints. The rest of them just got the one that was released, and most likely the one that came out on standard LaserDisc or DVD or Blu-ray or the new 4K. So there was a few hundred that had like this special presentation, which has been recreated on this LaserDisc. Now, the 4K release, I believe, hasn't had this, you know, silver retention, because when I've seen screenshots, I don't own the 4K and I probably never will, but when I've seen screenshots, it looks very different to, you know, what I've seen from like Blu-ray, from DVD, from the LaserDisc. I don't know if they've tried to recreate that silver retention look again, but it doesn't look, it does look a bit brighter, and it looks changed from what I remember, what I had either on LaserDisc, on DVD, and what I've got on Blu-ray. So either they've tried to do the exact same thing on 4K, or they've matched it to the other prints that were released theatrically. The other thing I know that they did is used AI to kind of alter the film by adding rain or removing bits of the film that were now going to be made obvious in 4K. So for me, the closest to the theatrical version is going to be this LaserDisc, and I think this Criterion Collection, or even just the bog standard one, will become a bit more sought after in the future. Like, the AI used on 7 4K has been used sparingly and not overblown. Not, you know, the faces don't look waxy with the DNR noise removal, which can happen. But yeah, this booklet is pretty cool. It opens up, and it's got loads of little things that you can read, you know, that John Doe wrote, but it's got its chapters, and it tells you what actually is in this supplementary directory with publicity and production notes, production design. You've got the opening title sequence. You've got all these other, you know, the 7 sins. They've got their own chapter here. I don't know what it's about. I haven't seen it. There's dailies, a special makeup effects by Rob Botton. That'll be cool. A LaserDisc production credits, and there's even color bars to make sure that you match it. And it even states here, if you turn it upside down, it's all hidden. It says 7 is presented in the original theatrical aspect ratio. The new digital transfer was created from a new Super 35 low contrast print under the supervision of David Fincher. The sound was remastered from the 35mm 6-track magnetic master print under the supervision and sound designer Ren Kyles. It tells you exactly what tracks there are. Analog track 1, there's an audio commentary by cast and crew. Track 2, analog, there's the Dolby AC3 stereo soundtrack. But it also did say somewhere about the I don't know where, I did read somewhere about the, like, the print on it. Maybe it was on the about the notes and I just skipped past it here. Here we go. To get the full effect of this disc in your own home, make sure that your monitor is set up correctly and that the lights in the viewing room are dimmed or out. To check the brightness on your monitor, use the color bars on chapter 67, take the brightness all the way down, then raise it just to the point where the 3 vertical stripes in the lower right corner of the screen become discernible as black, off black and grey. So basically, they want you to calibrate your monitor to specifically this film, and it says to see the intended effect of silver retention, compare the dailies which were transferred from the camera negative to the scenes in the finished film, and you'll see the difference between CCE silver retention and a non-process of that. But honestly, this set is really good. All the special features I feel on this one are what were available on the Blu-ray edition and possible 2-disc DVD set. I remember having a 2-disc set of this, which is probably the Criterion edition. So yeah, first Criterion edition LaserDisc and first LaserDisc 7 and Stargate. I'm a happy chappy. Started off. Now in the next video, like I said, from various different sellers, I'm going to shout them out and show you what I got from them. And thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.